Hi, this is Joseph Tan here from goodmonday.com. Most conversations fail because we hear the other person, but we do not measure the success of our conversation by a certain satisfaction level. And the satisfaction level is this: I agree to hear you until you are satisfied that I understand your perspective. Most of the time, we converse to self-satisfy. Now, a truly effective conversation doesn't depend on your self-satisfaction. It depends on the satisfaction of the person you are talking to. Once the other person is satisfied that you understand his or her perspective, then you are halfway home. But Joseph, you may ask, why shouldn't I converse or communicate in such a way that the other person learns to understand me, that the other person learns to see my point or my perspective first? Perspective is an interesting word. One of the traits or one of the underlying factors of a perspective is that perspectives are unilateral, meaning in any conversation, only one perspective can be discussed and understood at any one time. Whenever you have more than one perspective and both perspectives are trying to be presented at the same time and both perspectives are trying to be pushed through simultaneously, that conversation will very quickly degenerate into a conflict. So the million-dollar question is this: whose perspective should be considered first? Who should be given the right of attention first? First, a clarification of terms. Now, when you hear someone out and when you listen to them, it doesn't mean that you are under obligation to agree with them. Just because you agree to hear them out and to engage them in conversation, it doesn't mean that you have to agree with what is being said. You can show understanding without agreement. Understanding means you see where the other person is coming from. But just because you see where he is coming from and you are able to articulate his perspective doesn't mean you accept his point of view, doesn't mean you embrace his opinion or his belief, but at least you see where he is coming from. So the first goal of conversation is to demonstrate understanding, not agreement. Do not mix the two. Just because you have decided to hear someone out and to understand them doesn't necessarily mean you need to agree with them. In fact, you might choose even to disagree, but to disagree after showing understanding, creates a very amicable and peaceful situation. So here's the principle. You are not agreeing with all that is said. You are simply respecting their perspective. So the key principle is a principle of respect. You can respect someone without having to agree with them. So let's get back to the million-dollar question. Who should make the first move? The answer is this: the one who desires to show respect first. Respect is a funny thing. When you show respect to another person by being willing to listen to their perspective and hearing them out, then respect is given back to you. Because respect which is given freely from your end becomes respect that is earned. The saying is true. It is indeed more beneficial to give than to receive, and respect is no exception. So let's get back to the conversation agreement here again. It says that I agree to hear you until you are satisfied that I understand your perspective. Now, how can we converse in such a way that the other party is satisfied? The key thing is this: we must learn to show respect. And respect can be shown by demonstrating understanding, bearing in mind that you do not have to agree with him or her, but at least you hear him out. And just hearing the other person out communicates a message of respect, which will, at the end of the day, be reciprocated. Because what goes around comes around. So the beginning point of any effective conversation is your commitment to show respect. Think about it. This is Joseph Tan here from goodmonday.com. Thanks for watching.